Welcome back, everyone, to explore the Megillah as we journey through the Megillas Esther in depth. So today we start from the very first pasuk of the Megillah, which reads as follows: Vayihi bimei Achashverosh. It was in the days of Achashverosh. Hu Achashverosh. He is Achashverosh hamoilech mehoidu v'ad Kush, who ruled from Hoidu to Kush, Sheva ve'esrim umea Medina, 127 provinces. So on the first word of the Megillah, the word Vayihi, Chazal tell us in Masechtas Megillah, Daf Yud Amud Beis, that every time it says Vayihi bimei, and it was in the days of, that implies that something bad is about to happen, something painful is about to happen, because the word Vayihi can be split up into two words, Vayihi, like oivei. So it's an expression of pain. The question is, so obviously the Vayihi bimei is implying something bad is about to happen to the Jewish people, this decree of annihilation. The question is, the bad part of the Megillah really only starts in chapter 3, where it starts talking about Haman. Now Haman was elevated to become the second in command, and from that came the whole decree. Why does the word Vayihi exist at the beginning of the Megillah? So in Ir Davidi explains that actually the tsar, the pain, is right at the beginning of the Megillah. Because right away we learn that Achashverosh ruled over the entire world. That was a big part of the problem. There have been many people who have tried to annihilate the Jewish people over Jewish history, but none of them actually had the ability to annihilate every single Jew because they didn't rule over every single Jew. But Achashverosh, the threat here from Achashverosh was huge, because he literally ruled over the entire world, 127 provinces. All the Jewish people were under his rule, and therefore anything bad that's going to happen to the Jewish people is really bad because he has control over all of them. And that's why the word Vayihi is right over here. The Manas Halevi, who's Rabbi Shlomo Alkabetz, also the author of L'Chadoidi that we say every Friday night, is a beautiful pirush on the Megillah, which we're going to quote quite often, called Manas Halevi. He explains actually that Vayihi bimei, the tsar here, the pain, is actually to Achashverosh. Because one of the ways of learning this pasuk is that it says Hamoilech mahoidu v'ad Kush. He ruled from Hoidu to Kush, meaning over the entire world. And then actually his authority was actually weakened, and he only ruled over 127 provinces, which was not the whole world. So in other words, this is an alternative interpretation, that actually the tsar here, the pain, was to Achashverosh. That Achashverosh originally ruled over the entire world, literally, and then his authority was weakened, and he only ruled over 127 provinces. So the pain is relating here to Achashverosh. Then the pasuk continues, Hu Achashverosh, he is Achashverosh, and all the commentaries ask, what does it mean? It was in the days of Achashverosh, he is Achashverosh who ruled from Hoidu v'ad Kush. It could have just said, it was in the days of Achashverosh who ruled from Hoidu to Kush. What's the word Hu Achashverosh doing there? So Chazal tell us in Gemara Megillah that it means that he was wicked from the beginning till end. In other words, Achashverosh, Hu Achashverosh means Achashverosh was the same Achashverosh from the beginning of the Megillah till the end of the Megillah. He was the same Rasha, the same wicked person. A very nice pshat from the Alshich. He gives a very interesting interpretation that actually these words bring out the great miracle of Purim. Achashverosh, Hu Achashverosh means that the same Achashverosh that killed his wife because of his friend ended up killing his friend because of his wife. That's what it means. Achashverosh, Hu Achashverosh. This interpretation comes from Esther Rabbah, and the Alshich expounds on it. That the same Achashverosh that at the beginning of the story killed his wife Vashti. Why? Because his friend Haman told him to. His friend Haman advised him to kill Vashti, so he killed his wife because of his friend. At the end of the story, Hu Achashverosh is the same Achashverosh who ended up killing Haman, his friend, because his wife Esther asked him to. Says the Alshich, this expresses the fact that one shouldn't say that the story of Purim is such a natural occurrence. Of course, he ended up marrying a Jew. The Jew, Queen Esther, said, oh, this guy Haman wants to kill me, so of course Achashverosh is going to kill Haman. No, it's not of course. Because at the beginning of the story, he killed his wife because his friend told him to. So obviously he didn't really care too much to kill his wife. So Achashverosh, the same Achashverosh that killed his wife because of his friend, ended up killing his friend because of his wife, which is miraculous. Because you see that he valued his friends more than his wife. And yet, at the end of the story, he ended up killing Haman to protect his wife. And that actually brings out the greatness of the miracle here, right at the beginning of the Megillah, that we shouldn't think, although it is explained, and we'll discuss this further, that this was, so to speak, a more natural miracle, and Hashem was more hidden. Nevertheless, we need to understand that it was a miracle, it was miraculous. It wasn't obvious that Achashverosh would protect his wife, because Achashverosh is the same guy who actually killed his wife because of his friend. Have a wonderful day.